Good evening. Welcome everyone to this celebration of our first graduating class of the online Master of Business Administration program. I'm Lakshmi Iyer, Interim Associate Dean for Graduate Programs and Research in the Walker College of Business. I would like to first recognize some special guests who are with us in the audience. Dr. Marie Hopeful, Interim Dean of the Curtis D. Williams School of Graduate Studies, Dr. Ross Goski, Acting Associate Dean of the Curtis D. Williams School of Graduate Studies, Dr. Marty Messner, Associate Dean for Global and Civic Engagement in the Walker College of Business, Dr. Tracy Reed, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Curriculum and Administration in the Walker College of Business, Dr. Tim Forsythe, my predecessor in the role of Interim Associate Dean for Graduate Programs and Research and former MBA Program Director. Dr. Forsythe retired in December 2020, and he was very instrumental in establishing the online MBA program and met with many of you through your admissions and initial advising process. Thank you, Dr. Forsythe, for joining us this evening. Let me also introduce our current MBA program team, Dr. Neil Das, MBA Program Director, Ms. Celie Bird, Graduate Student Services Associate and MBA Advisor, Ms. Donna Lindaberry, Graduate Programs Administrator, Ms. Michelle Brown, our newly appointed Associate Director in Business Career Services and Career Coach for Graduate Business Students. Several of our MBA faculty members have joined us this evening, so please join me in a heartfelt thank you to our faculty for all they do for our students, our college, and the university. Thank you, faculty, for your support of our program and students. And last but not least, the families and friends of our graduates. You're certainly key to the success demonstrated by our graduates, and your support has helped them stay the course and complete their MBA degrees. I now welcome our Dean, Dr. Vanoy, to provide her welcome and congratulatory remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Iyer. I'm Sandy Vanoy, Dean of the Walker College of Business, and I'm delighted to join the families, friends, faculty, and staff who are here today to celebrate our graduating students. I would like to express my appreciation to Dr. Iyer, Dr. Forsythe, former Acting Associate Dean for Graduate Programs and Research for his service, Dr. Das, our MBA faculty, and the graduate programs staff for their contributions to academic excellence. Our online MBA program was launched in fall 2020, and it provides the same excellent education our main campus program is known for. Faculty in the online MBA certify their courses through Quality Matters, a nationally recognized faculty-driven peer review process used to ensure the quality of online and blended course design. The App State MBA is regularly recognized in US News, Princeton Review, and others for quality, and we are grateful to be able to extend the reach of our program to full-time working professionals. I express my sincere congratulations to you, our graduate students, for your academic accomplishments, and wish you the best as you leave the MBA program equipped with the knowledge and skills to bring positive impacts in your workplace, community, and the world. I now welcome Dr. Das to introduce our distinguished alumni speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Vanoy. I am very pleased to introduce our alumni speaker, Mr. Jared Rohrer. Mr. Rohrer is a 2000 alumnus of Appalachian's MBA program. In addition to the MBA, he also holds a Master of Arts in Student Development from App and a bachelor's degree from the University of Toledo. Mr. Rohrer has an impressive career in the financial services industry and is currently a managing director at Accenture and the global practice lead for commercial banking and the nCino Bank Operating System, a $1.5 billion industry for Accenture. Mr. Rohrer has served as a U.S. Army National Guard officer for 9 years, earning the rank of a captain. He was deployed to Iraq during Operation Iraqi Freedom, for which he was awarded a Bronze Star. He currently serves on various boards, including Veterans Bridge Home, a nonprofit that assists veterans in their transition after military service by identifying their education, employment, and healthcare needs, and then connecting them to the available community and federal resources. Lastly, but not the least, he also serves on the Walker College of Business Graduate Programs Advisory Board and strives to give back to the university, which was instrumental in his growth and development as a leader. Jared, it is our distinct honor to welcome you back to App State to share your words of wisdom with our graduating class.
Thank you, Dr. Das, and the entire faculty and staff on the phone or on the call tonight, and congratulations to the class of 2022. Sadly, the math from the class of 2000 to 2022 is very self-evident that it's been 22 years since I've completed my degree. What's interesting, I think, is when you look back after that amount of time and understand the impact of where you are and the significance of where you are in your career right now. It is an unbelievable moment, and I wish you all the best. I thought I'd start with just sharing a little bit more about myself and my own background, and how I came to be, and why App State's been so important to me, and why this degree was so significant in my career. First of all, I'm a first generation college student, so I kind of felt like I had to learn life the hard way, having not had some of the support rails around me. And I'll come back to why I thought that was important at App State for me in a few minutes. But it was impactful for me just to realize how significant it can be to just try and figure things out. And importantly, recognizing when you're trying to figure things out, even if you've not done them before, you're never alone. Right, and bringing people along with you is a critical component of all of those things. I'm currently at Accenture. I've worked here for about 7 years in a variety of different roles, but right now I run a global business, and I mean it's pretty fascinating, right? I run everything we do across the globe around commercial banking, and I saw some of your profiles as we started, and see some of you guys at banks that I work with. But it's been fascinating, and I think when you look back at 22 years ago, maybe even 23 years ago, I don't feel like I understood what business really was, right? But to think that I run this kind of practice and this kind of business for Accenture now is really really impactful, and the role that Appalachian played in that is critical. I've been here, like I said, 7 years. I worked at Bank of America for nearly 15 years prior to joining here. And before B of A, I was at App State as an MBA graduate, just like you. I said I'd come back to a point about being helped. There was a really impactful moment in my career at App State where I had someone really reach out and help me. It's kind of funny, but I just gotten married when I was finishing my degree, and I had gotten selected for an interview at Bank of America. Which was great because I was excited about coming to work here in Charlotte and start my career with this big global bank and all this kind of stuff. And then I got set up for an interview, and it was in the middle of my honeymoon. And I couldn't believe the terrible timing. And of course, Bank of America's like, too bad, we can't help you. And Dr. Delbert Goff, who some of you may know, reached out to the recruiting leader at Bank of America and said, you need to give this guy a shot, right? And it meant more than anything in my life, because without that phone call, I wouldn't have got the call to come down here. Probably wouldn't be in banking, who knows? But it was the most impactful thing in the world to have someone reach out and try and help just because they felt like it was important, right? And that's, I think, the power of what you get at App State, right? And the power of the community that you're building right now with what you're doing. But again, those kind of things matter, right? And I think that kind of pay it forward mindset has been something that's really been built into who I am. And I think importantly, all of you, as you come through the same experience with Appalachian. The MBA itself is a significant milestone. You all know how hard you've worked to complete this degree. Some of you have made a choice to work and get a degree at the same time and do it virtually during a pandemic. All unbelievably difficult things by themselves, but compounded when you're doing them all together. And when you bring that forward and you think about where you're at, it's important not to lose sight of this is a milestone event in your life. Okay. It's easy to go back to work tomorrow if you're staying in the same job, which I know many of you are, and just go right back to work. But importantly, I need you to think about how important it is to reflect on where you are and take the opportunity to say, is something, what is it that's different about me? How have I created something that is a leaping off point or a leaning in point to my career? What is it going to be? What am I going to take from it? When I think about app, I talked a little bit of how special I believe app people are. But when I look and I look and see alumni out in the industry, and I think about where all of our fellow alum are, we really do stand out as special, right? We are scrappy in nature. We are comfortable and confident coming into a room and not having the command of it, but we'll create the command of the room. We see the world a little bit differently. I don't know if it's the mountain air or what, but we do. And those things collectively make us really impactful and powerful, right? And that collective heritage is really powerful. I think it's important for you to think about that grounding and then also really reflect on how that builds upon who you are and what your own superpower is, right? And I think about that a lot, like this idea of what is it that makes me special? How do I stand out in a room? How do I think about what my value is, right? And what makes me impactful, right? But that definition of the superpower, if you haven't spent time thinking about it, it's so important, right? Because you've got to understand what your absolute strengths are. So I encourage you to spend some time thinking about those things. Importantly, the thing that I think I want to kind of focus on just for a moment is, what success look like? Easy to look at 22 years and say, my goodness, I've been successful and I just got lucky, or I'm super smart. But I think it's pretty straightforward and simple. And it's not those things. It can be, but it's about the people you have. But there are three things that matter in business, and it's real simple in my mind. It's the business acumen, right? Which is straightforward. You guys have gotten that through your degree, right? It is the ticket to entry. It is the ticket for you to think about focusing on how you grow, how you build your career, right? That knowledge is the only thing that is going to get you in the door, but it's the thing that gets you in the door. The differentiators to me are really around EQ and DQ. Okay. I don't know if you've all heard those terms. I'm sure you've heard EQ, DQ. I don't know if folks have heard. The first emotional quotient, right? Being able to read the room, understand what's happening, right? Understand the motivations of people around you, help drive the capability that you need forward by thinking about how people are driving from it, right? Looking around the room and saying, what is this person's motivation? How can I help them achieve what they need to while I achieve what I need to? How do I bring those things together? How do I get straight to the point of what's anxious about someone who's concerned about something we're trying to accomplish? Am I afraid or unafraid to tackle that head on? How do I achieve those things, right? The EQ of how you deliver is the most important differentiator. I see it all day in consulting, right? We have people who are wonderful at what they do, but if they can't carry a conversation with a senior executive and help them understand how the value that individual you bring to the table is so self-evident, they're not going to be successful, okay? So EQ, critically important. The other thing that gets overlooked sometimes is DQ, and this is really the decency quotient, right? Are you a decent human being? Forgive me for being so fundamental, but it gets lost sometimes in business, right? But when you look at inspiring leaders, they're hitting on all cylinders, right? But at the end of the day, it's more important than anything else that this is someone I trust, I can put my career with. I believe they're going to do the right thing. I want to do the right thing with them and alongside them, right? If you lack those things, even if you have high EQ, you won't be successful, right? So I believe those three things are the most significant ways to drive your career forward. They certainly have been impactful to me, right? Could I be more successful in the short run if I don't think about, if you cut a corner on one of these things? Certainly. But the long haul, the marathon of your career is really grounded on the EQ and the DQ. As I think about where you're at, like I said at the onset of this, it's really important to me to embark on you that this is that milestone event in your career, right? Go out and celebrate tonight. Go out and celebrate this weekend, right? This is an unbelievable achievement. I think 5% of Americans have a master's degree, right? You are in a small club. What are you going to do about it, right? How are you going to take and really think about this moment for you? Celebrate with your family, celebrate for yourself. But look at this as a turning point in your career, right? Be proud, feel good about where you're at, reflect on it, and importantly, take action, right? It's all right to choose not to take action, but you need to make sure you're thinking deliberately about what this means. Do not just wake up tomorrow and think your life's the same. One thing that's interesting in my career, and I'll kind of close here, when I came from banking into consulting, it's not a typical path. In fact, if you're coming from industry into consulting, it's pretty much a 3% chance of succeeding. But I thought to myself at that moment, I've been successful at the transition, which isn't the point here. But what I think is important is this piece of advice I got early in my career about taking a risk, okay? It's easy to feel comfortable. It's easy to feel like the next step is a logical choice for you. But taking a big risk, while it's scary, can be unbelievably rewarding. When I was looking post Bank of America and into what my next steps were going to be, moving to another bank, right, and moving to a lateral or an elevator role in another bank were such an obvious and easy choice for me. But I had a couple of people push on me and say, you should try consulting. I said, well, I've never been a consultant. I'll probably get fired in a week, which is actually what I thought. And the comment that stuck with me is, what's the worst thing that can happen? Okay. When you take a risk and you back it all the way down, what's the worst thing that can happen, right? And when I took this risk, the worst thing that could happen is I was like 3 months, 6 months, whatever, I was back out the door looking for a job, right? And I was going to be at a bank doing something I already knew. Like, and when you really just rationalize in your mind that the worst thing that could happen is just not so bad, taking the risk became so much easier to do. And then the reward's right in front of you, right? But anyhow, I hope that's helpful. But for me, I think that if you're bold and you're reflective and you're decent and you have a high EQ, you're going to have an incredibly rewarding career from here. But thanks for the opportunity. It's a great honor to spend some time with you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. I wish you all the best. Welcome to the Appalachian MBA Alumni Club. It's a small and mighty club, and congratulations.
Jared, thank you so much. That was simply stellar. And what I'm going to show you is actually, let me get this so that I don't break it. But can you all see this? So Jared, we present you with the Distinguished Alumni Award, and I'm being very careful so that I don't break this, for being such a positive role model and a supporter of our graduate programs in the Walker College of Business at App. And once again, we appreciate so much you taking the time to share, to be here and share your wisdom with your graduating class. And just so you know, your award will be mailed to you. And please, if you do have the time, please stick around.
Absolutely.
We would absolutely love it.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jared. As we move on, I would now like to recognize Ms. Celie Burke, our MBA advisor and Graduate Student Services Associate, to announce the Outstanding MBA Student Award.
Thank you, Dr. Das. Well, many of our online MBA students have demonstrated a commitment to excellence and the drive to succeed in this program, despite countless other pressures and responsibilities. And several students were nominated by their professors for the Outstanding MBA Student Award. We can only recognize one student this evening, and I'm very happy to announce that the Outstanding MBA Student Award goes to Miss Bryson Allison. Bryson earned her undergraduate degree in environmental engineering from the Georgia Institute of Technology and has since been working for Duke Energy, where she was recently promoted to Renewables Asset Manager. Throughout the MBA program, Bryson found creative ways to cultivate her interest in sustainable business, including participating remotely in main campus courses and joining a multidisciplinary team of students who took second place at the Department of Energy's Solar District Cup, a competition that challenges students to design, model, and present the most innovative and cost-effective renewable energy systems possible. Bryson's nominator said that Bryson goes above and beyond on projects and is a great team leader. Bryson's tenacity and her willingness to seek out additional learning and leadership opportunities make her most deserving of this recognition. Congratulations, Bryson, on your outstanding achievement. And we too, hopefully you can see that, will be mailing, yep, there we go. We'll be mailing your award to you. Congratulations. And now I'll invite Dr. Iyer to present the Outstanding Online MBA Faculty Award.
Thank you, Celie. It's my pleasure and honor to announce the recipient of the Outstanding MBA Faculty Award for our online program, Dr. Jason Jiang. Dr. Jiang demonstrates the highest levels of excellence, engaging and mentoring students in order to provide a transformative App State experience. Students said this about him. Dr. Jiang was my professor during my first semester of the program. He went above and beyond in his explanations, and I felt that he presented difficult material in a way that was easy to understand. More than anything, he understood that many of us were working during this program and took that into consideration. He made sure to take into account our stress levels of being able to balance work and school. Finally, it is clear that he truly cares for his students. He mentioned multiple times that he is there as a resource during the class and in the future. He is truly the role model professor. Dr. Jiang received this award at the May hooding ceremony, but we want to honor him tonight as well. Dr. Jiang was also recognized last week with the Board of Governors Excellence in Teaching Award for the Walker College of Business. Thank you, Dr. Jiang, for your commitment to student success and your superb teaching. I now invite Dr. Das to recognize the first batch of graduating online MBA students.
Thank you, Dr. Iyer. Well, folks, here is the moment you've all been waiting for. So we will now move on to the hooding ceremony. We will be recognizing our candidates alphabetically. So please refrain from wearing your medallion until all MBA candidates have been announced. We will then ask you or a friend or loved one who is participating with you to place the medallion around your neck as a symbol of your MBA degree completion. And please remind me if I've missed anyone's name, please let me know. The names that I'm going to call out are based on the RSVPs that we've received. So again, I'll read out the names alphabetically. Bryson Allison, Matthew Arneson, Joshua Douglas, Alexis Gold, Michael Green, Mallory Harris, Bryan Morris, Samuel Porter, Chase Price, Gerard Ramos, David Steber, Kara Umflet, and if I have missed anyone, please let me know. Okay. If I have not, then at this time, you may don your MBA medallion. Please place it around your neck yourself or have a friend or family member do it for you. Congratulations, graduates. And this has been such a momentous occasion. As Dr. Vinoy, as Dr. Iyer both mentioned, you are the first online MBA batch graduating from App State. Congratulations, you always have a home here at Appalachian. I want to personally thank all of you for your participation, for making this such a special event. Dr. Iyer, if you will please share your closing remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Das. Well, congratulations to our first inaugural group of online MBA graduates. I'd like to leave you with some important words from the Walker College's mission. Be ethical, innovative, and engage business leaders who positively impact our community, both locally and globally. Let's congratulate our graduates one more time. Well, thank you again. Everybody can turn their videos on. And thank you. This concludes our evening's event, or the formal portion of the event. You're welcome to remain on the call to chat informally with one another. Best wishes to all for a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Thank you.